you are thinking about buying anytime soon, remember this. Number one, you have to be super motivated, and you have to know where there's a will, there's always a way. So listen, if you're a buyer and you're wanting to buy in the near future, and maybe you have been told in the past that your credit isn't good enough, that you don't have enough money in the bank, whatever the case may be, you have to remember, I have never been good at being told no. In fact, I love being told no, because I do believe no a lot of the times means not right now. It means that the person you're asking may not have the tools that they need to get you a yes. So do not count yourself out forever, or maybe even not at all. If you are a buyer and you're wanting to buy, and you have had your credit pulled, and maybe based on your pre-approval amount, the notes per month for you are too high, there is a way to get your notes lower. And the way to get your note lower is to have a better, lower interest rate than in what is being advertised. So if you are a buyer and you are not happy with the rates and you want a lower rate, you need to, first of all, set yourself up with a real estate agent who has a team of mortgage brokers, of lenders on their side that can help you shop around just like you would shop around for anything else. The best thing to do is shop around for better terms, better rates, better all the things. And listen, when I refer a buyer to a lender, it is never just one lender. It is a bunch of them. I will say to them, I work with lots and lots and lots of lenders, lots of mortgage brokers, lots of local banks, and everybody has their own little tricks of the trade to get you what you need to get. So what I will do, if you are thinking about buying, I will say to you, here are my top 3 mortgage brokers, lenders, banks, whatever the case may be, depending on your situation. If you do not have a down payment, then a bank is not for you. If you want to put 20% down, then I'm going to say to you, these are the top banks that I recommend if you want to put 20% down. If you do not have any money, but you have decent credit, and I'm not saying perfect credit or even good credit, if you have decent credit, you very well can buy a house with no money, with absolutely no money, right? Now, if your credit is so pitiful that you, listen, maybe you've been through a divorce, maybe you separated, whatever the case may be. Maybe when you were young, you spent way too much money and you didn't pay off your credit cards. Listen, life happens, right? Life happens. We make mistakes. A lot of people have poor credit based on situations that they've incurred previously, and they're working to get it better. But you will hear lots and lots of people say that I qualified for an FHA loan, and the vast majority of the time it is because their credit is not so great and they've made poor choices in the past, right? Or their debt to income ratio is just too high. So there's lots of reasons people qualify for an FHA loan. Listen, if you qualify for an FHA loan, you will be required to have 3.5% down of the sale price. So if you're looking at a $200,000 house, that's $7,500, right? Now, if your credit's good and not excellent, not great, but just good, you may very well qualify for an RD loan. Lots of people call it a USDA loan. And that means 0% down. Nothing down at all. Nothing. You can buy a house with no money, right? But if you're wanting to buy a house and you've run your credit, and because of the current interest rates, your notes are too high, lots and lots of lenders now have programs where you can get a lower rate And that happens when the seller is willing to help you buy down the rate. So there's so many different avenues and ways that can happen, but the number one main thing you need is a realtor on your side who is great at negotiating. So when you are thinking about buying a house, remember this: in just the Acadiana region, just Acadiana, okay, there are at least 1,800 real estate agents last time I checked. That's not even in the Lake Charles region, in the Alexandria region, in the Cameron region. That's just Acadiana, 1,800. What that means for you as a buyer is interview people, ask them hard questions, and choose who you want your real estate agent to be, all right? Number one question is, do you love working with buyers? Do you have the patience to show them lots and lots and lots of houses? And do you love negotiating, and are you a team player with the other realtor who's going to be on the other side? There are lots of real estate agents who are in real estate and don't like negotiating. Listen, if you're a real estate agent and you don't like negotiating, you need a different career, because real estate is all about negotiating, and it's negotiating in a kind, professional way with the person on the other side. So the most important thing that you as a buyer need to ask is, number one, do you love negotiating? Number two, do you play well with other realtors on the other side, or do you see them as the enemy? Listen, this is a team, networking, collaborative business. If your real estate agent says, I don't like negotiating, or I don't get along with the realtors on the other side most of the time, interview another one and another one and another one. Because what they should say is, I absolutely love negotiating. It's exciting to me, it's fun to me, and I'm great at it. And I love working with whoever is on the other side of the transaction. If it's the sellers, if it's the seller's agent, whoever the case may be, they are loving working with the other side. Because listen, the other side is just as important as your side. The other side is going to help you get all the way to the closing table and buy yourself a house. So if you are a buyer, interview agents, ask hard questions, and choose who you want to represent you. Another question that you need to ask them is, are you going to charge me if I don't have the money to pay your commission? And listen, if you do not have the money to pay my commission, I cannot work for free. But that means when I start showing you houses, I'm only going to show you houses that the seller has already agreed to pay the buyer's agent. They've already agreed to pay the commission, and I will know that before I show you the houses. So if you say, I don't want to pay you commission, I want the sellers to, I will make sure the only houses we look at are the ones where the seller has agreed to pay the commission. Ask hard questions when you start looking for a house, because buying a house could potentially be one of the biggest decisions you're ever going to make in your life, and it could save you tens upon thousands of dollars if you have a real estate agent on your side who loves negotiating, who's a team player, and who knows how to get houses closed. Another question to ask if you're looking to buy is, how many houses have you sold in the last couple of months? And how many deals have you gotten under contract that have fallen apart and never made it to the closing table? Listen, I cannot remember the last time I had a deal fall through. I cannot remember. My close rate is probably 99.9% of the time. Something goes under contract, it gets to the closing table, keys are exchanged, and you buy a house. It happens over and over and over again. And it's crazy because I was talking to another realtor just a few months ago, and we were talking about the close rate, and he said something about 50% that he gets in the contract, he gets to the closing table, and I like to lost my mind. Listen, that poor guy needs to go find another job. Because if you're only getting 50% of your deals to the closing table, the common element is you. And that's not a good thing, right? So remember, if you are thinking about buying, but you are not happy with the rates when they run the numbers for you, there is a way to get. So number one, Set yourself up with a real estate agent who works with a huge team of lots of local lenders, lots of mortgage brokers. Listen, I hear some people sometimes say, oh, I went online and I got approved by Rocket Mortgage. Listen, that's not a smart idea. That is not a smart idea. There are thousands of local lenders, local mortgage brokers who can help you and who have a vested interest right here in our community. That's hugely important to me. I love doing local business with local people because we have so much local talent right here in Acadiana. It makes no sense to go online and have some robot randomly give you a pre-approval letter, and then when it comes time to actually close the deal, there's something wrong or there were some promises made or something that didn't happen. Listen, you want to speak to a real local person who can help you navigate the process. That begins with the agent that you choose, and then they will help you choose a lender, and then you will get the rate you need, and then you will get the monthly note that you need, right? And all those things will happen. But first and foremost, the most important thing is setting yourself up with people who you trust, who have closed lots and lots of deals, and who is going to get